You're sitting in your favorite chair, maybe with a good cup of coffee or the morning news humming softly in the background. The day feels calm. Then suddenly, your spouse, your neighbor, or even you feel dizzy, your arm goes weak, or your words don't come out right. It's scary, and it can happen just like that. Here's the thing most folks don't realize. Strokes don't always look dramatic like in the movies. Sometimes it's a little stumble, a funny feeling in your face, or a sentence that comes out sounding wrong. But when it is a stroke, every second counts. Not minutes, seconds. In the United States, someone has a stroke every 40 seconds. It's one of the leading causes of serious long-term disability, and many of us know someone who's been through it. But here's the part that gives me hope. The faster we act, the better the chance for full recovery. The first 5 minutes can change everything. This video is about what you can do before help arrives. Simple, life-saving actions that don't require any special training. We'll walk through how to recognize the signs, what to do and what not to do, and how to be ready if it ever happens to someone you care about. Think of it like keeping jumper cables in your car. You hope you never need them, but you'll sure be glad they're there when it matters. So if you find this helpful, give it a like, subscribe to Vibrant Elders, and maybe share a thought in the comments. Have you or someone close to you experienced a stroke? I'd love to hear your story. Now, let's talk about why every single second matters. Now let's talk about time. Because when it comes to stroke, time isn't just important, it's everything. You see, a stroke happens when the blood flow to part of your brain gets cut off. Most of the time, it's from a blood clot. Doctors call that an ischemic stroke. When that happens, brain cells in that area don't get the oxygen they need. And just like a plant wilting without water, brain cells begin to die. Fast. I know that sounds a little grim, but I'm telling you this not to scare you, but to show you just how powerful your actions can be in those early minutes. According to the American Stroke Association, about 2 million brain cells die every minute during a stroke. Let that sink in. 2 million. Every minute. Think of your brain like a computer, full of memory, data, and all the programs that run you. Now imagine someone pulling the plug, and every minute that goes by, more files get corrupted. The longer that computer stays off, the harder it is to bring everything back. That's why doctors have a saying, time is brain. Here's the good news. If we act quickly, there's a treatment called a clot-busting drug, TPA. It can literally dissolve the clot causing the stroke, restoring blood flow before too much damage is done. But here's the catch. It has to be given within a very specific window. Usually within 3 to 4.5 hours from the moment symptoms begin. And the sooner, the better. The earlier you get to the hospital, the more treatment options you have. Now I want you to think about how much time can be lost if we hesitate. A lot of folks, especially older folks like us, might feel something strange and just want to sit down, maybe wait it out. Or maybe we tell ourselves, it's probably just a dizzy spell, or I'll lie down and see if it passes. But with a stroke, waiting is the most dangerous thing you can do. And that's why those first 5 minutes, before paramedics even arrive, are so crucial. That's where you come in. Knowing what to look for and what to do can mean the difference between someone going home after rehab or needing long-term care, between being able to walk, speak, and remember, or struggling with permanent disabilities. We're not helpless in the face of stroke. In fact, we are the very first line of defense. Whether it's your spouse, your friend from church, or even a stranger at the grocery store, if you know what's happening and act fast, you can literally change the outcome of their life. I know that's a big responsibility, but it's also an incredible power, one that anyone, no matter your age, background, or health, can learn to use. And that's what this video is all about. You don't need to be a doctor. You don't need medical training. You just need to know the signs and trust yourself enough to act. So the next time something doesn't feel quite right, someone stumbles, their words come out wrong, or their face seems off, you'll know what's at stake. And you'll know exactly what to do. Let's go a step further now and talk about how to recognize the signs. Because the sooner we spot a stroke, the sooner we can stop it from doing damage. Now that we understand why time is so important, let's get practical. Because if we're going to act fast, we've got to first know what to look for. And the truth is, stroke symptoms aren't always as obvious as you'd expect. It's not always someone collapsing dramatically. Sometimes it starts small, a crooked smile, a funny sounding word, a hand that suddenly doesn't seem to work right. That's why doctors and emergency responders teach something called the FAST method. FEST. It's an easy way to remember the major signs of a stroke, and trust me, it's worth committing to memory. You don't need a medical background. You just need this simple tool. So here's what FAST stands for. F is for face. Ask the person to smile. Just a simple smile. If one side of their face droops or doesn't move the same as the other, that's a big red flag. Imagine your friend is sitting across from you at the diner, and you say something funny. They grin, but only half their mouth lifts. That could be the start of a stroke. A is for arms. Ask them to raise both arms straight out in front of them, like they're holding a big beach ball. Can they lift both? Or does one arm drift down or not lift at all? That's a strong indicator something's wrong with muscle control, which the brain manages. S is for speech. Ask them to repeat a simple phrase, like the sky is blue, or today is Tuesday. If their speech is slurred, jumbled, or they can't find the words, that's another sign. It might not be loud or obvious. You might just notice they sound off, like they've had a few drinks, even if they haven't. T is for time. This is the most important part. If you see any of these signs, call 911 immediately. Not in 5 minutes. Not after you wait and see. Not after asking a neighbor what they think. Call right then and there. Time is brain. Now, here's where it gets real. You might be the only person around who notices these signs. Maybe it's your partner, sitting quietly on the porch, and they suddenly can't lift their lemonade glass. Maybe it's your friend at Bible study who's trying to talk, and their words just won't come out right. These moments might feel small or uncertain, but if your gut says something's off, trust it. And if you're worried about overreacting, let me ease your mind. Emergency responders would much rather be called for a false alarm than arrive too late. Calling 911 doesn't just get someone a ride. It also alerts the hospital to get the stroke team ready, clears space in the ER, and starts a clock for treatment. One more thing. Sometimes strokes happen to people who can't speak for themselves. That's why it's a good idea to practice the FAST method with your loved ones, especially if you're caring for a spouse, a sibling, or even aging parents. Keep it light. Maybe make a little game of it. Okay, honey, smile for me. Now lift those arms. What day is it? It might feel silly, but it's a small thing that can save a life. So remember, face, arms, speech, time. It's not just a catchy acronym. It's your emergency checklist. The sooner you spot the signs, the sooner help can begin. And when you act fast, you give someone the best possible chance at recovery. Next, we'll go over exactly what to do in those first 5 minutes after you've called 911. Because recognizing a stroke is the first step. But knowing how to care for someone in that short window, that can make all the difference. So you've recognized the signs of a stroke. Maybe their smile isn't quite right, or their speech sounds strange. You've called 911. That's already a huge step. But what happens next, in those 5 minutes before the ambulance arrives, can make a world of difference. And here's the good news. You don't need medical training or fancy equipment. You just need to stay calm and take a few smart, simple actions. First, if you haven't already, tell the 911 operator exactly what's going on. I think my wife is having a stroke. Be clear and stay on the line. They may ask you to repeat the symptoms or tell you what to do step by step. Don't hang up until they say it's okay. Then, look at the clock and make a mental note, or better yet, write down the exact time the symptoms started. This may seem like a small detail, but it's actually one of the most important things the doctors will want to know. That time helps them decide what treatment options are still available, especially if they're considering giving a clot-busting medication like TPA. Next, help the person sit or lie down in a safe, comfortable position. If they're conscious and able to talk, reassure them. They're probably scared, and your voice can help them stay calm. Keep them still. Don't let them try to walk or shake it off. Movement can make things worse, especially if their balance is off. Now, if they're unconscious or not fully awake, gently roll them onto their side. This position, often called the recovery position, helps keep their airway clear in case they vomit or have trouble breathing. Don't put a pillow under their head or try to sit them up fully. Just keep them safe and stable. Here's a big one. Don't give them anything to eat or drink. Not even water. I know that's tough. We're so used to offering a glass of water when someone's not feeling right. But if a stroke is affecting their ability to swallow, even a sip could cause choking. Same goes for aspirin. While aspirin can help in some heart emergencies, it's not safe during a stroke unless a doctor specifically tells you to give it. Some strokes are caused by bleeding, and aspirin could make that worse. While you're waiting, try to gather any information that could help the paramedics. Do they take any medications? Do they have any known medical conditions? If they carry a list in their wallet, on the fridge, or use a medical ID bracelet, now's the time to grab it. And if you're at home, make it easy for the EMTs to get in. Unlock the door. If you live in a gated community, have that gate code ready. Clear a path if needed, especially if there are stairs, walkers, or rugs that could get in the way. This part of the emergency, the waiting, is hard. You feel powerless. But believe me, what you're doing is powerful. By keeping them calm, watching the clock, and being ready to share details with first responders, you're buying precious time. You're giving the medical team a head start before they even walk in the door. And just to say it again, the faster they get treatment, the better their chance of recovery. All right, you're doing great so far. But sometimes, even with the best intentions, people make critical mistakes in stroke emergencies, and they don't even realize it. So let's take a moment and talk about those next. What not to do, and how to avoid making a bad situation worse. We've talked about what to do when you spot a stroke, and those steps can absolutely save a life. But just as important is knowing what not to do. Because even with the best of intentions, it's easy to make a mistake in a moment of panic. And unfortunately, some of these common missteps can actually cause more harm than good. Let's walk through a few of the big ones. First, and I've seen this more times than I can count, someone notices a loved one acting strangely, but they say, "Let's wait a few minutes and see if it passes." Maybe the person starts to look better, or they insist they're fine, and you want to believe them. I get it. None of us want to cause a fuss, especially when it comes to calling 911. But here's the problem. With stroke, those symptoms might seem to fade, but the damage is often still happening under the surface. Waiting even 10 or 15 minutes can close the window for treatment. So even if things start to look okay, don't cancel that ambulance. Let the professionals make that call when they get there. Second mistake, driving them to the hospital yourself. Now, I know, in an emergency, our instinct is to grab the keys and go. You think, I can get there faster. But here's the truth. Calling 911 isn't just about the ride. Paramedics are trained to assess and begin care on the way. They can call ahead to the ER, so the stroke team is already prepping before you even arrive. And stroke patients brought in by ambulance are often treated faster because hospitals know it's urgent. Another one I've heard, should I give them an aspirin? The answer is no, not unless a doctor or 911 operator specifically tells you to. While aspirin is often used for heart attacks, it's not the same with stroke. Why? Because not all strokes are caused by blood clots. Some are caused by bleeding in the brain, and aspirin can make that bleeding worse. Until a CT scan confirms what type of stroke it is, it's safer to avoid medications. And here's one more that surprises people. Don't feed or hydrate them. Even a sip of water can be dangerous if the person's swallowing reflex has been affected. If they choke or aspirate fluid into their lungs, you've now got a whole new emergency on your hands. As hard as it is, it's best to wait until they're fully evaluated by medical staff. Sometimes, the mistake isn't in what we do, it's in what we fail to share. When EMTs arrive, they need to know exactly when the symptoms started. But in the chaos, we forget to mention the time, or we guess. Writing it down or setting a timer on your phone the moment you notice something wrong can be a lifesaver, literally. And finally, a gentle reminder, don't downplay the situation. I know a lot of us, especially folks from the tough it out generation, don't want to be a burden. We don't want to make a scene. But this is not the time to be polite or humble. Be loud, be clear, and don't stop pushing until that person gets the care they need. Because in that moment, you're not just being helpful, you're being heroic. All right, now that we've covered what not to do, how about setting ourselves up for success before something happens? Let's talk next about how to prepare your home, your family, and maybe even your church or community group, so that if a stroke ever strikes, you're ready. You know, one of the best ways to handle a stroke emergency is to be ready before it ever happens. I like to think of it like keeping your winter boots by the door before the snow hits. You hope you won't need them, but if the storm comes, you're not scrambling. Preparing for a stroke doesn't mean expecting the worst. It just means putting a few smart systems in place that could save critical time and reduce stress if something ever goes wrong. And believe me, your future self, or your loved ones will thank you. Let's start with something simple. Posting emergency information where it's easy to find. One of the best spots? The refrigerator door. EMTs are trained to check there. You can keep a small folder or even a clear plastic sleeve with basic details. Current medications, known allergies, doctor's contact, insurance info, and any medical conditions like diabetes or high blood pressure. You don't need to overcomplicate it, just the basics, typed or written clearly. While you're at it, consider making a medical ID card to keep in your wallet or purse. You can even get medical alert bracelets online. Nothing fancy, just a simple way to let responders know if you have any critical health needs, like a pacemaker or blood thinner usage. Now let's talk about your family. Whether you live with a spouse, adult children, or even if you live alone, everyone in your circle should know the FAST method. Even grandkids. Kids today are sharp, and they remember what we teach them. Imagine if your 10-year-old grandson spotted a drooping smile and knew right away to call 911. That's not scary, that's powerful. You don't need to have a full-on training session. Maybe you bring it up at dinner, or write it on a little note on the fridge. F. Face droop. Arm weakness. S. Slurred speech. T. Time to call 911 inch. I've even seen folks print out little FAST cards and put them in their glove box, their wallet, or on a keychain. It's small, but it keeps the knowledge fresh. Another tip, if you or your spouse are managing chronic health conditions, it's worth letting your neighbors know how to reach a family member in case of emergency. A simple sticky note by the landline, or a card in your wallet that says, "In case of emergency, call my daughter Karen, 555-123-4567, can be a real gift in the moment when someone else has to step in. If you live in a retirement community or attend a regular church group, it might even be worth suggesting a little awareness session. A few minutes at the end of bingo night or after Bible study. Nothing formal, just a reminder about FAST and how to react. You'd be surprised how many folks haven't heard it, or heard it years ago but forgot. Finally, consider downloading a free stroke awareness or emergency info app on your phone. Some apps, like those from the American Stroke Association, can walk you through signs and symptoms and even store medical info securely. If smartphones aren't your thing, that's okay. Good old-fashioned paper works just fine too. The goal here isn't to make your home feel like a hospital. It's to empower you, to create a space where you and anyone around you feels confident that if something happens, they'll know exactly what to do. No panic, no guesswork, just action. All right, we've covered a lot together. Let's take a moment to pull it all together in a simple, helpful recap, so everything we've talked about sticks with you. Let's take a deep breath together and go back over what we've learned today. Because when it comes to something as serious as a stroke, it's not just about hearing the information once. It's about remembering it, trusting it, and feeling ready to use it. So here's the heart of it. If something feels off, someone looks unsteady, they speak strangely, their arm won't lift, or their smile isn't quite right, trust your instincts. Don't second guess, don't wait and see, and don't assume it's nothing. It could very well be the early signs of a stroke. That's where the FAST method comes in. It's simple, it's memorable, and it could save a life. F. Face. Ask them to smile. If one side doesn't move or looks droopy, take it seriously. Arms. Ask them to raise both arms. If one drifts down or won't lift at all, that's a strong clue. S. Speech. Have them repeat a short sentence. If the words are slurred, confused, or don't come out right, that's another warning. T. Time. Don't wait. Call 911 immediately. The clock is ticking, and every second counts. We also talked about what to do in those critical few minutes while you're waiting for help. Stay calm. Note the time of the first symptom. Keep the person still and comfortable. Roll them on their side if they're unconscious. Don't give food, drink, or medicine, not even aspirin, until trained help arrives. And if you can, gather their medical info to share with the paramedics. And just as importantly, we covered what not to do. Don't drive them yourself, don't wait it out, and don't brush it off. Stroke is one emergency where being bold and acting fast can make all the difference in the world. The last piece is preparation. A little bit of planning now, whether it's putting emergency info on your fridge, teaching your family the FAST method, or talking with neighbors, means that if the moment comes, you're not guessing. You're ready. All of these steps, they don't take a medical degree. They don't take years of training. They just take awareness, and heart, and the willingness to act. That's something we all have, no matter our age. So if you're sitting there thinking, well, I hope I never have to use this, I hope that too. Truly. But if you do, I want you to feel like you've got this. Because you do. You've taken the time to learn. You care enough to be prepared. And when that moment comes, you'll know what to do. You've made it to the end of this video, and that means you've taken a powerful step. Not just in learning how to spot a stroke, but in becoming someone who could truly save a life. This isn't just information to keep in your back pocket. It's something that can change the outcome for your spouse, your neighbor, a friend at church, or even a stranger at the grocery store. And if you ever find yourself in need, it's something your loved ones can use to help you too. So here's the takeaway. Trust yourself. The signs of stroke can show up fast, and the sooner you act, the better the chances of a full recovery. Know the FAST method. Write it down. Talk about it. Make it part of your family's safety plan. Because you're not just watching a health video. You're becoming someone who's prepared, who's calm under pressure, and who's ready to act when it matters most. If this video helped you feel more confident, or even just a little more prepared, would you give it a like? It really helps more people see important information like this. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for Vibrant Elders. We've got more videos coming with tips on living well, staying safe, and enjoying this chapter of life with strength and peace of mind. And hey, if you've ever experienced a stroke or helped someone through one, I'd love to hear your story in the comments. You never know who your words might help. Remember, every second counts. But knowledge? That's something you carry with you every day. Take care, stay sharp, and be well. You've got this.